Welcome back to the Complete Timelines channel, where I break down the timelines of your favorite TV and film. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, someone decided to tell a story completely out of order and make us wait 28 years to figure out who built C-3PO. Welcome, fellow Jedi, Sith, rebels, bounty hunters, womp rats, and even you Jar Jar stans, I see you. Today we're breaking down the entire Star Wars film timeline, from the Phantom Menace to the Rise of Skywalker in chronological order, with lore, battles, betrayals, lightsaber duels, and of course, high ground. This is not just a timeline. This is the ultimate walkthrough of the Skywalker Saga, full of the best character arcs, epic subplots, force-wielding drama, and just the right amount of meme-worthy moments. Grab your blue milk, because this is the definitive Star Wars timeline breakdown. Let's ignite the hyperdrive. Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, 32 BBY. We start where all the confusion chronologically begins. Episode 1, aka the movie where Obi-Wan has a ponytail and Darth Maul dies too soon. The Republic is being taxed. Yes, the space drama starts with a trade dispute, and Jedi Master Qui-Gon Jinn and Padawan Obi-Wan Kenobi are sent to negotiate with the shadiest Sith Trade Federation. Surprise, they get double-crossed. On Naboo, we meet Queen Amidala, aka Padme, who rocks more outfits than a runway model at Paris Fashion Week. The group flees to Tatooine and finds a 9-year-old slave boy named Anakin Skywalker. He's good with machines, has a high midi-chlorian count, and casually wins a pod race against locals who have been doing this for years. Qui-Gon believes Anakin is the chosen one, destined to bring balance to the Force. Unfortunately, the Jedi Council is like, meh, we sense too much fear, because the Jedi apparently have a policy of no fear, no fun. Enter Darth Maul, a Zabrak with a double-bladed lightsaber and no chill. He kills Qui-Gon, gets bisected by Obi-Wan, and falls down a pit, which in Star Wars terms means he'll be back eventually. Obi-Wan gets promoted and adopts baby Anakin as his new apprentice. Key lore impact. Introduction of the Sith Rule of Two. Palpatine begins his rise, Anakin enters the Jedi fold, and Jar Jar gets a seat in the Senate. Still unclear which was the worst decision. Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, 22 BBY. Fast forward 10 years, Anakin is now a hormonal teen Jedi with a rat tail and serious attachment issues. Obi-Wan's got a beard, and Padme's still not aged a day because Star Wars logic. Someone tries to assassinate Padme, and Obi-Wan investigates, discovering a clone army secretly ordered in the name of the Jedi. The clones are based on a bounty hunter named Jango Fett, who's raising his own unaltered clone son Boba Fett. Ring a bell? Anakin is assigned to protect Padme, which leads to romantic picnics, San-hating, and a wedding that every Jedi code strictly forbids. Meanwhile, Obi-Wan gets captured on Geonosis, where we meet Count Dooku, a Sith Lord who used to be Yoda's student. Yeah, that tracks. Cue the first battle of the Clone Wars, Jedi versus droids, Yoda flipping like a caffeinated frog, and the galaxy plunging into full-blown war. Key lore impact. Birth of the clone army, Anakin and Padme's secret marriage, Dooku's rise, and Palpatine gets emergency powers because democracy dies with thunderous applause. Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, 19 BBY. Welcome to the saddest and most memeable Star Wars movie. War is everywhere. Anakin's vibes are darker than Mustafar lava. He's haunted by visions of Padme dying in childbirth. Palpatine, spoiler alert, he's Darth Sidious, seduces Anakin with dark side promises and a tale of a Sith who could cheat death. Hint, it's himself. Anakin cuts off Count Dooku's head after a little moral hesitation, emphasis on little, and by the time Mace Windu figures out Palpatine is evil, Anakin betrays him in 0.2 seconds. Windu gets yeeted out a window, and boom, Anakin becomes Darth Vader. Then comes Order 66, a top-tier tragedy. Clones turn on their Jedi commanders. Yoda senses it. Obi-Wan barely survives. We lose fan favorites like Plo Koon and Ki-Adi-Mundi. It's a Jedi purge montage no one asked for. Anakin slaughters younglings and burns his bridges and legs on Mustafar in a brutal duel with Obi-Wan. Padme dies of a broken heart. Anakin gets reborn in the most iconic villain suit ever. And the Empire rises. Key lore impact. Fall of the Jedi, rise of Vader and the Empire, birth of Luke and Leia, and Palpatine goes full galactic dictator. It's dark, but so good. Solo, a Star Wars story, 13 to 10 BBY. Somewhere between War and Rebellion, we meet young Han Solo, a street rat who escapes Corellia and joins the Empire to become a pilot. That lasts 5 minutes. He links up with Tobias Beckett, meets Chewbacca via a muddy Wookiee brawl, and helps pull off a train heist gone wrong. Enter Kira, Han's old flame turned lieutenant of the Crimson Dawn crime syndicate, led by Darth Maul. Surprise, he's back with robot legs. Han wins the Millennium Falcon from Lando Calrissian in the most iconic card game in the galaxy. It's less about stakes and more about swagger. Key lore impact. Han's origin, Lando's backstory, Chewbacca partnership, and a glimpse into the criminal underworld that makes the galaxy turn between wars. Rogue One, a Star Wars story, 0 BBY. Hope begins with a tragedy. Jyn Erso, daughter of the Death Star's unwilling chief architect, is recruited by the rebels to locate her dad and steal the Death Star plans. Along the way, we meet K2CO, sarcastic droid MVP, Chirrut Force-sensitive monk, and Cassian Andor, rebel with a past. The finale, Scarif. The entire team sacrifices themselves in a beautiful, brutal climax to get the plans out. It's one of the best third acts in the franchise. Key lore impact. The Rebel Alliance unites, Vader's hallway massacre becomes nightmare fuel, and those stolen plans lead directly into the OG classic. Episode 4, A New Hope, 0 BBY/ABY. Luke Skywalker goes from moisture farmer to rebel legend in the span of one film. He finds a message in R2-D2 from Leia Organa, secretly his sister, but let's not talk about the kiss just yet. With Obi-Wan, Han, and Chewie, he rescues her, loses his mentor to Vader, and discovers the Force is strong with him. With the stolen plans, the rebels blow up the Death Star in a perfectly impossible trench run. And Darth Vader starts sensing something familiar in this whiny farm boy. Key lore impact. The Force awakens in Luke. Vader gets curious. Han becomes a hero, and Leia's leadership starts to shine. Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, 3 ABY. This is the film where everything goes wrong, and fans love it for that. Luke trains with Yoda on Dagobah and learns the Force is less about lifting rocks and more about inner peace. Kinda. Meanwhile, Han and Leia dodge the Empire, flirt endlessly, and get betrayed by Lando. The twist, Darth Vader is Luke's father. Cue the ultimate scream, no! Han gets frozen in carbonite. Boba Fett takes him to Jabba, and Luke loses a hand and his innocence. Key lore impact. The Skywalker family bombshell drops, Luke levels up spiritually, and Vader starts feeling the tug of redemption just a little. Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, 4 ABY. Luke's now a black-robed Jedi with confidence and a green lightsaber. He rescues Han from Jabba's palace, RIP Boba Fett, until 40 years later, and leads the final assault on the second Death Star. The rebels team up with Ewoks, fuzzy little teddy bear anarchists, and take down the shield generator on Endor. Meanwhile, Luke confronts Vader and Palpatine in the throne room. The Emperor tempts him to the dark side. Vader watches his son get electrocuted, and finally redeems himself by chucking Palps down a shaft. Key lore impact. Vader is redeemed. Palpatine dies. LOL. The Empire falls, and the galaxy parties with fireworks and drum circles. Episode 7, The Force Awakens, 34 ABY. New heroes, same drama. Rey, a scavenger on Jakku, discovers she's Force sensitive after meeting Finn, a defected stormtrooper, and BB-8, who basically kickstarts the plot. Han Solo mentors her for 5 minutes before his son Kylo Ren, Ben Solo, stabs him in the chest in one of the saga's most painful moments. Starkiller Base, aka Death Star on steroids, blows up a planet, but the Resistance, led by Leia, manages to take it out. Rey finds Luke Skywalker at the end and hands him a lightsaber. He looks annoyed. Key lore impact. The Skywalker bloodline lives on in Ben, Rey's power rises, and the old generation starts to pass the torch. Episode 8, The Last Jedi, 34 ABY. Luke is in exile and milking space cows. Rey trains anyway. Kylo kills Snoke and takes over the First Order. Luke Force projects himself across the galaxy, saves the Resistance, and dies like a legend. Key lore impact. The Jedi evolve, Rey becomes the hope, and the Skywalker legacy burns only to rise again. Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, 35 ABY. Palpatine's back. Somehow, Rey is his granddaughter, but chooses the name Skywalker instead. Kylo gets redeemed as Ben Solo, sacrifices himself for Rey, and the Sith are finally ended. Key lore impact, end of the Palpatine bloodline-ish, rise of a new Jedi, and the Skywalker name becomes legend. So what did we learn? The Force is messy, family is complicated, and lightsabers are still the coolest weapon in cinematic history. From pod races to porgs, Sith Lords to scavengers, Star Wars is a mythic space opera that spans generations, both on screen and off. Whether you love the prequels, originals, sequels, or you're just here for Baby Yoda, there's something in this galaxy for you. If this breakdown made you laugh, cry, or re-evaluate your stance on sand, share it with a fellow fan. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more deep dives just like this, and let me know in the chat what you want me to break down next. And remember, the Force will be with you always.